y'all banging. Dope House
Bing.
going hard.
Bing.
2000, Dope House going hard. 2001, y'all Dope House going hard.
Immediate break. Well, there was phone calls earlier where they would be going on, and Tootie Arthur would be saying, man, this something's going on. This girl's saying, whoopty whoop whoop, whoopty whoop whoop, and I'm listening like, what the fuck? And next thing you know, we would hit the road with, I kind of was doing my own thing because you got to remember, in 2000 I finally had my solo album, and Carlos got so big at a point where he wasn't hanging with us no more. That's how he was doing some big shit. So we were kind of me, Grim, Happy Perez, Russell Lee. Mm-hmm. We were kind of being the Lone Star Riders back then with Max Manelli, and we were kind of doing shows and shit. And he kind of was just, he was huge. He was like fucking the Beatles at the time. So, and I was hearing some shit on the phone, like, the girl, whatever, that he was messing with, for going at him hardcore and shit. So it was probably like about 6-7 months, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, it's like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Now they get to the Dope House and made some arrests and shit. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was totally caught off guard with that. I mean, I was totally surprised because Dope House was just like, Dope House was handling business. South Park Mexican, who we calling Carlos, who is Carlos, is the biggest dude, one of the biggest guys in the city, easily, and really got, besides Kid Frost,
mm-hmm.
in terms of what Mexican rappers are doing, he the biggest.
Yeah, I met Kid Frost first. Kid Frost introduced me to SPM. Yeah.
In Mexico City, right?
In New Mexico.
In New Mexico,
Albuquerque,
right.
New Mexico. New Mexico.
At a car show. Right?
And he had told me, he said, man, this motherfucker, SPM, South Park Mexican, he shuts it down in Houston. I was like, who? Fuck no. I was like, who's this Frost? Come on, man. So he was like, man, they take me to a strip club. Everybody has to go except us and the strippers. I was like, yeah, right. And next thing you know, I met him. He's like, yeah, I'll fly to Houston. Flew me to Houston, and fucking Frost was right. That shit was real.
You never looked back.
Never looked back. Well, my house got raided. See, I was selling crank at the time, too, in California. So I was, crank, it turned into meth. Now it's called meth. But I was selling crank back in the days. And my roommate ended up getting on the shit. He ended up getting on the crank, man, chasing pussy around, man. So he ended up getting on the shit and got us busted, got the house raided. So I never went back home. I said, I got to stay. His
And you never had a warrant for your
Never
arrest?
had no charges, man. Never had no charges and none. Never had no charges. He was a federal agent. He was a border patrol dude, man. He used to go pick the shit up in a badge. I mean, in a badge and everything with a gun and go pick it up for me. It was crazy, dog. I would just come.
The perfect connect.
I had it. I used to come home to thousands. I used to come home to money. I'd be gone doing my thing. Come home. He's like, yeah, Ron. It's been like a month. I got about $4,000 here for you. I'm like, cool. And then he started getting out. Once he got a divorce. He got high on his own fucking supply. We call them bag chasers. Started fucking with them bag chasing chicks. And they got him. And he got on it, started tweaking out, acting funny, got set up cold-blooded. They put him over in front of a school, so they added another 10-year charge because he had that much drugs in front of a school.
So going forward to 2001, mm-hmm. when the new hit,
mm-hmm.
rapper South Park Mexican accused of molesting child.
Mm-hmm.
You get the news. What's the climate like at Dope House Records at this time?
Well, we weren't really hanging at the Dope House that much anymore. Like I said, me, Grim, Happy, we were staying on Hardy Toll Road. So that was our compound. So when we heard the news, we was like, what the fuck? And, but like I said, Tootie had already been saying that the girl's kind of tripping on. She wants some money and all that shit, right?
And who is this girl?
The girl that accused him, that touched her daughter. That they were friends. They grew up together actually. So it wasn't like some random shit. It was they grew up together.
Who
and the
grew
girl,
up together?
the girl, not the little girl, the mom.
The mom grew up with who?
SPM and his wife, and they were best friends.
So these are two couples who are best friends.
Yes. The girl would stay the night at Carlos's house, and that's how it happened. Like that's how they.
The little girl would
Allegedly.
stay the night at
With his daughter.
This is the 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Right. Because there was 3 girls in all that they went after him over.
Well,
3
yeah, they
underage
went after
girls.
him also for the baby's mom. He had a baby with the 14-year-old that he said he met in a strip club. And all this, I wasn't around back then. So all I ever got was information that they gave me. That's all I ever knew. It's not like I did any research. They would tell me shit, and I was like, oh, okay. So I would just go off what I was told because I never really was around this shit. Like I said, when he had the baby with the 14-year-old, that was like in the earlier 90s. So I wasn't still in California. So I didn't even know about that. This new shit, I remember the brother was kind of getting on a phone call and said, man, they're trying to get Carlos dirty, right? And I'm like, not tripping because Carlos is the man. You think, oh. And then when that news hit, it was like, wow, it's really going through. And I was still thinking, okay, well, he'll get through it. And I remember being in Denver, Colorado, doing a show with the Lone Star Riders. Grimm's on the phone talking to his brother, and he said they gave that motherfucker 45 years. It's like, what the fuck? Then it just shook us up like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
I remember that like it happened today, bro. I was at my aunt and uncle's house watching the news. It was midday.
Mm-hmm.
And they came in, and I'm thinking to myself, first and foremost, whether he did it or not, I don't know what happened, but whether he did it or not, he's in America and he's rich. America doesn't care about victims of sexual assault. I do, but America don't.
We're learning that.
America was built on sexual assault, all right? They came in raping and pillaging, okay? So that's why I believe that a lot of the elected officials and stuff don't really take sexual assault seriously unless it has some type of political implications behind it or something, right?
Yeah, I think
And that's what I think happened in this situation. I think this was like this had some type of political implications behind it. I don't think they cared for one moment about those little girls. I do. But I don't think they cared about those girls. I think they used those girls as pawns to take down Carlos Carr.
well, yeah, they took him down, all right, and the whole case was crazy because I thought he was gonna get off because I thought, no way, he didn't. In my head, I'm thinking, fucking, I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt, like, that's some weirdo, crazy shit, right? Like 9 years old.
And what made you think he was going to get off? I mean, was that
because
did you have any type of evidence that?
Well, because, like I said, the brother had been talking on the phone saying they want some money, right?
Okay.
The mom wanted
So
some.
you
That's
think
what
this is a pure extortion thing?
So I'm thinking, okay, well, it can't be true because if a motherfucker, I don't want no money. If they really did it to my kid, I don't want no money. I want some fucking
you want that
justice
you want
and
some
that.
contact.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
contact.
money. You know what I mean? If I can't get a hold of them, then prison for life. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. So when he told, and I keep thinking like, well, she wanted some money. Is what I'm just going off what the brother had told me, Tootie Arthur. So he tells me that, and then it rings in my head like, okay, so it can't be true because who would want money if someone touched a kid? You want blood. You know what I mean? So when they got him, I was like, damn, they must have had some fucking evidence. But then I come back and find out there was no evidence. He still got convicted. It was just word against word about that case.
And the little girl was on the stand saying that she think it may have been a dream. It could have been a dream.
That on the stand, poor girl.
How do you convict someone based on I think I may have been dreaming?
I don't. That's the crazy. I don't know. And the crazy and SPM hired the most expensive lawyer you could find in Houston at the time was Mike Ramsey, who was big at doing the Enron shit at the time. So he spent a lot of money on lawyers, and they still.
You think Mike sold him out?
I don't know. I don't. What I heard was Mike never really went. Mike sent one of his what do you call it? The cronies, just the young guys coming up.
Yeah.
Sent one of those dudes to deal with him.
Yeah,
like
one
he
of-
took
one
the
of his
case.
pupils, yeah.
Yeah, he took the case.
Right.
And got breaded up.
But he didn't work it.
But he didn't really work it and shit. So that's what I conclusion that I was given, and yeah, it's still, it's shocking. I still don't believe he actually touched the 9-year-old in my head, but who's to say? No one knows. But you know what I mean? If he did, he's the worst motherfucking thing walking on 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? It was the worst fucking thing. But then they got him for the having a baby by the 14-year-old, which I think sealed the deal. Which
Could not be.
He did have that.
He could not argue that.
Yeah, you can't argue that. Which he said that he met at a strip club when she was stripping at 14. And that's all the story that I knew. I have no idea about any other. Like I said, I just go off what they told me. That's all I knew. So